Before I start, do any of the students know another type of graphic organizer that you could use where there's something that's giving you different ideas about a subject? Something you use in class to use for a pre-write?
When we get a break, okay?
Anybody think of that thing where you write something in the middle and then there's a line and a circle, a line and a circle? Not a diagram, it's a web. So this is a wheel, but you can use the web too. So after I'm done, I'll give you a prize. Yeah, that was good. All right, a web. Okay, so follow along while I read. And I'm going to read and I'm going to think aloud and then I'm going to work. I'm going to ask you to help me do this after I finish reading it once. So, Gregory. Everyone looking at their papers? All right. Gregory is my beautiful gray Persian cat. All right, Gregory, so this must be about a cat. He walks with pride and grace, performing a dance of disdain as he slowly lifts and lowers each paw with the delicacy of a ballet dancer. All right, so they're telling me what he looks like, how he walks. I think this is going to be a description. I think this is going to be a text that's organized by
visualization,
facts and describing something. In this case, it's describing Gregory. So now I think I got the idea of how this passage is structured, the pattern of the passage. So it's going to help me understand, because now I'm going to look for details about the cat. So as I read, think about these details, because I think I figured it out. His pride, however, does not extend to his appearance, for he spends most of his time indoors watching television and growing fat. He enjoys TV commercials, especially those from Meow Mix and 9 Lives. His familiarity with cat food commercials has led him to reject generic brands of cat food in favor of only the most expensive brands. He's finicky, huh? Gregory is as finicky about visitors as he is about what he eats, befriending some and repelling others. He may snuggle up against your ankle, begging to be petted, or you may imitate a skunk and stain your favorite trousers. Yep. Gregory does not do this to establish his territory, as many cat experts think, but to humiliate me because he is jealous of my friends. After my guests have fled, I look at the old flea bag snoozing and smiling to himself in front of the television set, and I have to forgive him for his obnoxious but endearing habits. So I think, put your thumbs up if you think this is a descriptive passage where it tells you a lot of details describing someone or something. Very good. It is. It's descriptive and it's about Gregory. So now I want to remember things about Gregory. I want to describe him. So I'm going to write some of the things about Gregory in this wheel. And you could also use a web. So, can someone tell me, first I have to write in the middle my subject, which is Gregory. So everyone's going to do it on the small one, and then you can take the big one home, put it in your notebook so you have a example.
Right on the small one.
So, on the small one now, who can tell me one of the first details that they tell us about Gregory? Look at the paper. What's one of the first things they tell us about Gregory?
He walks with pride and grace.
All right, so he walks with pride and grace. So I'm just going to put down walks proudly and gracefully. I'm just going to put it in my own words, but and gracefully.
No.
Thank you. Is there anything before that that tells us about him, about how he looks? Is there anything about how he looks? All right, so he's a great Persian cat.
We're done with pizza for now.
He's a great Persian cat. So we know how he looks. We know he walks proudly and gracefully. What's another bit of information, another detail about Gregory.
S.
Yeah, so he's fat and he sits around all day watching TV. I'm gonna call him lazy. So he likes TV, he's lazy, and fat.
So agree not to argue again. Great. Another problem we face in our everyday life. Did not do my homework. How can we solve that or fix that?
How can we do that?
How can we solve that?
What we call transition words.
You need to do your homework. You need to try to do your homework.
Anybody want to share? Yes.
Do it in the other.
Do it the next night and try and get it done.
Find yourself.
Good. That's another way we can solve that.
Actuality, that is in fact true. Yeah, at least that's what the computer says. That they both came from the same family. And also, I said, let me figure out how to pronounce this word so I can read it correctly. The animal is called EOCCS. Many scientists think that
You may have never heard of avalanche before, so this may be brand new to you. Avalanche. Who thought pretty snowflakes could be so deadly? Tons of snow on a mountainside can be very dangerous. If it begins to move, watch out. This powerful movement of snow. Here's what me tell you. What information were you given first, Layla? Okay, we were given that information. Right after that,
what was up there? What you like, what's different, what the game does, and what's the same. So compare the things that are the same and contrast about things that are different. Alright, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, Ms. Harris will pass out the story. I'm going to read it to you. And then we're going to create, we're going to fill in the Venn diagram of things that are alike and things that are different.
So how can we solve or come up with a solution or fix doing poorly on a test? Raise your hand if you're ready to share. Yes? Study more, study harder. That's great. That's a great way to try and fix that, right? What else is another way we can try and solve or fix doing poorly on a test? You want to share?
yeah, the biography. Okay. Now this is a biography. It was written by somebody else. What do we call a story of somebody's life that's written by that person? Do you remember? Close. Autobiography. This is autobiography. Why it happened or what made it happen. Okay? So we're going to talk about an avalanche today.
You would have found it to be so. I had to find out how you pronounce that. I said,
I never knew that.
So I had to say it correctly. Yes, young man.
On a mountainside. I know that cats and dogs are named
Well, they came from the same animal and they evolved from that animal. This is what the article is purporting. Okay, now for the fun part, guys. You have your Venn diagram. In the Venn diagram, there are actually two circles that appear to almost be three. What we're going to do, they go together. Yes, they overlap each other. What we're going to do is we're going to write cats over here, dogs over here. We're going to write everything that's different on the two outside, and things that overlap are the things that are the same. Now, I don't want anybody to cheat because Ms. Harrison did her work. Now, you guys have to look in the article, and you have to come up with your own. I find it's easiest to do the things that are alike first. But you guys first do the cat, okay? You guys do things that are alike. You guys then do things that are different in the dog. This way we'll come together.
Okay. All right. So we're getting there. It's actually this sentence here, it's second paragraph.
What happened next? In his development into a movie star. First he's an active kid, then he went to school, then what did he learn about? trained and trained and trained, even trained in the way.
Read this story together. While I read aloud, I want you to follow along with me.
Very serious.
So everybody's mouths are off and their ears are on.
Ability to be
Let's look on the top. It says, in that big title,